was trying to find a good spot to put this in because I'm in my Jeep and I thought it would be easier than when I used to have my little Honda Civic, but it's not. But today is Sunday, January 24th, which is nuts. I feel like this month has been flying, but got my Grande Iced Americano half calf because I already had a little 200 milligrams of caffeine from the Alani Nu energy drinks. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm freaking obsessed. They're so good, but I do have to be careful with them. Anyways, I wanted to hop on here because I want to document the beginning of this new season for me. So I'm not somebody who can easily lose weight. I'm not somebody who can easily like develop a different physique. I have to be very, very intentional. And so if you haven't followed me for a while, I went into a bulk in November 2019 up until February 2020. And I gained about 10 to 12 pounds, which is, it was intentional. I wanted to because I had lost a lot of muscle. I won't get into that. So anyways, I gained about 10 to 12 pounds, and then I've kind of just been maintaining. I lost about 5 over this past year in 2020, and I've been maintaining around like 160 pounds, which for me is totally fine. That is honestly where my body wants to stay. It is very happy there as long as I'm like, you know, it's not easy. I'm not gonna say it's easy. I do have to be intentional, but it's something that is more easily maintainable. But for me in this next season, I want to push myself. I want to get back to where I was before, you know, I had this little heart issue in May of 2019. So there's some things that I want to do personally, and I know it's going to require excellence. Like, it's not going to require balance. That's not for me right now in this season. I've been in a balance for the last like year and a half. So for me, it will require excellence. So I'm coming up with a name for this new season. I am honestly nervous to talk about it because I've attempted weight loss twice, sort of, in the past year, and that's where I lost the 5 pounds, and honestly, like, it just wasn't the right season for me, and that's okay. Sometimes it's not the right season for you, so you still have to show up for yourself, though. I've still been training 5 days a week. I still get in my steps all the time, but it just wasn't the right season for me to change my caloric intake and change my macros. So this is the season for me. I know it is. I've been spending the last 3 weeks, the first 3 weeks of January, being very intentional with my macros and my output, my energy output. And then I'm now working with a coach, which I'll someday talk about it, which I'm just honestly so grateful to be able to work with this woman. I've been following her and wanting to work with her since 2015. So it's crazy, 6 years later, here we are. But we'll bring you along. I'm not really going to talk about it on Instagram, I don't think, because truthfully, when I do, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be like perfect. I don't know. There's a lot of pressure for me when I'm like, okay, you know, follow my journey here. But on YouTube, it's a little bit different for some reason for me mentally. So I will be documenting more of my journey on here. So, I have new set of macros. I have my entire week planned out for this next week. Again, for me, it does require excellence. So I need to hit my macros within about 5 grams if I want to specifically lose weight, which I do right now. So I'm excited to take you along. I got my new little I just flung my pen, my little Train Hard journal. I'm somebody who would rather write it down. I have all of my clients use an app just because a lot of people like apps and they like being able to track it on their phone, but for me, I'm somebody who definitely loves pen and paper. So it's super simple. It just says exercise, and then it says sets 1 through 5. I usually only do 4 sets, but maybe like a warm-up set. And then it tells you like how many pounds you lifted, and then how many reps in sets and stuff. So I'm excited for that. And then also, let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, pre-planning. So I've pre-planned my entire week. I'm somebody who, you know, if I'm just hanging around maintenance, I don't pre-plan my entire week. But if I, again, am in a season of excellence that's going to push me and challenge me, I am freaking prepared because I know how much it takes. I've done this before. I know that it does take intentionality. It does not take, you know, super low calorie and super low macros. My macros aren't low. I will not share them with you because I'm 6 foot tall. I train 5 days per week. I'm very different than you, so I will never share my macros. However, I will share if I've changed them or, you know, if my training has changed or anything like that. But please don't get upset if I don't tell you my macros because they are going to change. They change, you know, they're not set in stone. They're going to change, and I am a very different person than you. But I am prepared, so I'm headed to the gym, but then I have to do lots of grocery shopping afterwards and running around. So I have my post-workout meal here, which is 2 packets of Better Oats. If you've never tried Better Oats, they're so good. I like the 100-calorie packets. It just makes it really voluminous. So I have 2 packets of that, and then 1 serving of ice cream sandwich, level 1 First Form protein. I've used First Form protein since 2015, 2014, and it is the best. And the ice cream sandwich flavor is top notch, okay? And then I also have these, I'm gonna have 1 pre-workout, and it's just about 14 grams of carbs. They're just like little fruit crushers. So I'm gonna have 1 of these pre-workout and then 1 post-workout with that meal. My post-workout meals are less fat. They're higher carb, higher protein to help, you know, shuttle everything to the muscles right away and start the repair process, because I do not want to lose a lot of muscle during this process. I've worked really freaking hard to build up this muscle. I'm not somebody who gains muscle easily. I'm 30 years old. I never played any sports or anything. I didn't really start like actually lifting in a progressive way until I was 27. So it takes a lot for me to build muscle. So I'm trying to preserve that as much as possible. So high carb, high protein post workout, and then fats will be later on in the day. And then yeah, here we go. I'm excited to bring you along. This is already 6 minutes long, but I'll try to get maybe some snippets of training. I've never done this before at my gym, because especially right now with being in January, it's a little bit more busy, which is good. I love seeing other people, you know, hop into the gym and get into their training zone and just get into their best self, right? So I'll maybe try to show you, but maybe I'll bring you around the grocery store instead. So I'll see you and have a great day. Hey, back from Clean Eats and back from Kroger. There's a million people there, and so I kind of just grabbed a few things and threw them in the cart and got out. So I'm gonna show you, I got 5 meals for Kevin and 5 meals for me. I wanted moderately low fat, moderate carb for me, just because my fats I like to have later in the day, just personally. So I'm gonna show you the names of them, and we don't get these all the time, but right now we can invest in them, and it just makes our lives so much easier to have 1 meal already done. So I'm gonna show you them. These are Kevin's. Still all like relatively low fat. And then sometimes I'll put dressings on them as well. And then these ones are mine. I've only had some of them. I haven't had all of them. Sometimes it's a complete miss when it comes to these meals. Generally, Clean Eats is, I think, one of the best that we found. It's local, but it's also all over the US. So if you have one near you, check it out. Most of the time they're really, really good. And they're just really beneficial for saving some time. Okay, it's still Sunday. I'm gonna be making overnight oats. Very, 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 very simple. Takes about 3 minutes, if that. So I'm gonna be making overnight oats for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, and then I'll do them again on Wednesday for Thursday and Friday, just because it's so quick and I don't want them sitting in the fridge all week. So I'll show you what I'm gonna be using. Okay, so I just have 3 little glass containers. I used to use just like regular old Tupperware, but then last year I transitioned to glass, and I've liked that better. And then I just use 2 packets of Better Oats. This is the brand, and macros are 2 grams of fat, 18 grams of carb, and 4 grams of protein. So just do this, literally dump it in, the same thing for the other ones. And sometimes I'll only use 1 packet if I want to, but this week I need more carbs, so I'm doing 2. So, since this is an overnight oat recipe and I'll just be putting this in the fridge, I don't heat up the oats. I don't cook them or anything, it just kind of cooks it in the fridge, you know, like it just softens over time. So I don't have to cook it at all, which is great. So I'm going to mix in 1 serving of the level 1 ice cream sandwich flavor. This is the best flavor, absolute best flavor. It mixes so well into everything. So, I forgot I forgot that I couldn't find the stupid scoop. So I just like, I got it all over me. Okay, so anyways, moving on. Now, you just take one scoop and you dump it in. Very easy. Okay, so that is the base of the recipe. And then you can literally top it with whatever you want. If you need extra fats, you can put, you know, nut butters, you can put nuts on there, you can put chia seeds, flax seeds, coconut oil, whatever it is that you want on your toppings. But for me, I want slightly lower fats because this will be my post-workout meal. So I'm just doing the 2 packets of oats, which has 4 grams of fat because it's two servings, and then 1 serving of the protein, which has 2.5 grams of fat as well. So that's enough fats for me for post-workout. And then I'm gonna top it with 75 grams of blackberries. So blackberries and raspberries are the 2 highest fiber count per carb fruit. So I love having those on hand. I love starting the day off with high protein, high fiber. It really helps kind of like front load the day. So you start feeling really good right away. You start feeling really full right away. And you are able to easily hit that 25 gram fiber mark for the day. So then I'm just gonna be tossing 75 grams of these into the meals. So I'm gonna use my scale. And you can do this after you mix up the protein powder and the stuff. I don't really care. I'm just gonna mix it all together. It doesn't really matter to me. Okay, and then you're gonna have to mix some sort of liquid with it. You can either do water or almond milk or whatever kind of milk that you want. Usually I just do water because I really like the flavor of this protein, so it really doesn't need too much else for me. But this time I am gonna do almond milk, which will be just about 1 serving, which is 240 milliliters. I tested it out today, and that's around like between 215 and 240 milliliters is what I'm gonna do. But you can, again, do whatever you want and top it with whatever you want, but it is the easiest base recipe. It's done already. Like, this is 5 minutes, but you saw me talking and get stuff all over me. So boom, breakfast is done for 3 days. Don't make it so complicated. Make it easy on yourself. Find things that are easy. Guys, Pinterest, seriously look at Pinterest. If you're like, I don't know what to do with my meals, go to Pinterest, type in macro-friendly breakfast, macro-friendly meals, macro-friendly recipes, macro-friendly snacks, and then adjust things to your macro needs. So say you need something that's higher in carbs, adjust the serving size of the carbs. Say you need something that's lower in fats, remove the fat source from the recipe, or maybe sub in something else. For example, some cheeses are less fats than other cheeses. So if a recipe calls for cheese, look for a lower fat cheese. So like, find little things like that to make it work for you and your macros.